By the time the candles were lit and the turkey was carved, I already knew that Christmas would end with someone screaming, and it wouldn't be me. I smiled anyway. Across the table, my husband Mark lifted his wineglass and toasted to another perfect Christmas, his blue eyes bright, his jaw clean-shaven, his sweater the soft gray I'd bought him last winter. Our families laughed and clinked glasses, the sound chiming like bells. My mother dabbed her lips with a napkin. His father told a familiar story about a blizzard in '92. The tree glowed behind us, ornaments reflecting a dozen cheerful faces. Under the tree sat the final gift. It was small, modest, wrapped in red paper with a silver bow. Mark had placed it there himself, carefully, reverently, as though it were sacred. I knew what was inside. And still, I passed the gravy. The knowledge had come to me 3 days earlier, tucked inside an accident so small it felt meaningless at the time. Mark had left his laptop open when he went to shower. I wasn't snooping. I'd only meant to close it. But the screen lit up to an email draft, unsent, subject line blinking like a warning flare. Delivery confirmation, December 25th. Curiosity nudged me. Fear shoved. The email wasn't long. Just an address, ours, and a list of items with serial numbers. At the bottom, a note. Final piece will be given in person. She'll never suspect a thing. I scrolled. My reflection stared back from the dark screen, pale and unfamiliar. The folder beside the email was worse. Photos, documents, contracts. My name typed again, and again in places it should never have been. I learned in minutes what Mark had been building quietly for months, what he'd been selling, what he planned to take, and what he believed I would never discover because I loved him too much to look. He was wrong. I closed the laptop and went about my day, my heart beating so loudly I was sure the neighbors could hear it. That night, I didn't confront him. I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I lay beside him and breathed evenly while he slept, and I planned. So when Christmas Day arrived, I was ready. Dinner stretched on, cozy and loud. Mark's hand rested on my knee beneath the table, a familiar gesture that made my skin crawl. He leaned over and whispered, "You okay? You seem quiet." "Just happy," I said. And it wasn't entirely a lie. After dessert, he clapped his hands together. "All right, gifts." The room buzzed with excitement as boxes were passed around. Paper tore. Laughter rose and fell. My parents admired scarves and books. Mark's sister squealed over jewelry. All the while, the small red box remained under the tree, untouched, waiting. Finally, Mark stood and picked it up. "This one," he said, smiling too widely, "is for you, Claire." Every eye turned to me. I felt the weight of the moment settle over the room like falling snow. I walked to him, heart steady, pulse calm. He kissed my cheek and handed me the box. It was lighter than it should have been, heavier than it looked. "Go on," he urged. I looked around the room, at the people who thought they knew us, who believed this was a safe house filled with harmless traditions. I thought of the copies I'd already made, the emails already scheduled, the officer I'd spoken to under the guise of a hypothetical question. I untied the bow. Inside was a small velvet case. I opened it to reveal a flash drive. Mark's smile faltered, just a fraction. "Oh," my mother said, confused. "Is it photos?" "In a way," I replied. I stood, holding the drive between my fingers. "Before I play this," I said lightly, "I think Mark should explain what it is." Silence dropped hard and sudden. Mark laughed, sharp and false. "Claire, now's not." "I found your drafts," I said, my voice clear. "Your files. Your plans." His face drained of color. I plugged the drive into the television anyway. The screen flickered to life, filling the room with documents, timestamps, recordings. Gasps rippled through the crowd as realization dawned. My name, my image, my life, reduced to assets and leverage. Someone shouted. Someone else stood abruptly, chair scraping. Mark stepped toward me. "Claire, please," he whispered. "We can talk about this." "We are," I said. "Right now." Sirens wailed in the distance, faint, but growing louder. I watched the sound hit his ears, watched panic finally break through his careful composure. I turned to our guests, my hands steady. "I'm sorry to do this on Christmas," I said, "but I didn't want anyone else to get hurt." The doorbell rang. When the officers led Mark away, he didn't look at me. He couldn't. The final gift lay open on the floor between us, its contents exposed to the light. Later, after the house emptied and the tree lights dimmed, I sat alone with a cup of cold tea. Snow fell softly outside, peaceful and indifferent. Christmas carols drifted from a neighbor's radio. I smiled, finally letting it reach my eyes. Some gifts are meant to surprise. Others are meant to end things. If you love romance, thriller, and revenge stories, you can please check my channel too.